Great. Last class, we talked about different types of data connection in Power BI. And before I move on, let me quickly say this. When you launch your Power BI for a new project, if you notice this area is telling me untitled Power Desktop, it's because I've not saved it. So let me save this guy. Then you see untitled, change to the name I've given to this project. So I'm going to do File and Save As. Save As is if you have not saved it at all before. So it will it's going to, in fact, if you do Control S, is Save As that will give to you as the option. Is the Save As. But when you saved it with a particular name and you make changes during the course of working on the project, you can now do Control S then to save the changes, just to save the changes. So let me give it a name. Let me just give it that. And when you do, then you give it a name. The extension is .pbix. So that's the extension for Power BI. So you can see it has changed to that. That's the name for this project. Okay, that's one. Then secondly, if you notice, when you click File, all the recent reports, all the project that you've worked on will be displayed here. I've worked on quite a number of projects using my Power BI. So if you have not worked on any, you won't see them like this. So by the time you start to work on Power BI projects, you see them like this. Then instead of you try to look for wherever it is, just launch your Power BI. Once you launch your Power BI, you come to File, you need to click File, you see the list of reports that you worked on. Then you just click on any one of them, then it's going to come up. Okay, that's that. So the two things I want to show us this evening is I want to show us two different sources, sources of data sets, or the kind of data set that can be connected to Power BI. I'll show us how to connect to a PDF data set, and I'll show us how to connect to our PostgreSQL. I didn't think we are using, there's nothing on this Power BI that you cannot connect to, depending on the kind of connection that is available to you for the analysis. So this evening, I'll be showing us how to connect to our Postgres and our PDF data set. I think I have the PDF data set somewhere. I downloaded it not quite long. No, it's not in PDF, it's in tab separated value, that's CSV. So I had to change it to this guy. I had to convert it to a PDF so that we can have something to work with. So this is a data set. I downloaded this from, I think, Cargo. So this is what we are going to be connected to this evening. I'll send the file to us so that we can practice with it. So then I'll just click on, so to connect to any data source, come to Get Data, then you see the list of data connections. that you can connect to. So these are the list of data connections that we can connect to. So the one we want to connect to now is PDF. So you click PDF, then you click connect. Then you go to your location. This is where I want to connect to data set. Then I'm loading it. Now, it's telling me that I have all these tables. Let me check. Let me just open it so that I'll be able to confirm what this guy is telling me, because it's most likely that it's divided or something. Probably may not. Okay, look at it. I have two pages. I have it in 2 pages. So let me confirm that. So page 1 is telling me this is page 1. So let me look at this. This is, okay, page 1. Okay, let me confirm the page 2. Or probably I should check this first. Okay, I think this is better. Page 001 is better than page 2. So this is page 2. This is page 1. Okay. So this is page 1. So telling the data in the preview has been truncated due to size limits. Okay, so let me connect this. So transform. Now, this is the second table. This is the first table. Okay, so this is how to connect to data sets in PDF.
Sorry, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
I'm with you, sir.
Can you go back a bit?
Okay.
How you selected those two
okay,
let me, 01 and 02?
Okay, so okay, a quick one.
I'm with you. I'm listening.
Okay, before you maybe we'll still go back. But I'm seeing some of the information in the cell. They say no.
Don't worry about that.
Figures. Okay.
Don't worry. It's not all the. If you look at them, you can see dots. You can see dots. It's not all of them that have values.
That's why we have the null.
That's why we have null. Yes. That's why we have null. Yes. So I'm connecting to the PDF, but this guy is telling me table. So I don't want to pick table. I want to pick it by page. So these are the 2 pages. Confirming from the PDF file. It's in 2 pages. This is first page, this is second page. So I've selected the 2 of them. Then I want to check. Let me see if there's anything I need to manipulate or that I need to transform. Okay, good. Now, if you look at this, we have the header is column 1, column 2, column 3. Excuse me, column 2, column 3, down to column 28. So it's that. So the first thing I need to do is to upgrade the headers, knowing fully well that the header from our data set has to do with maybe geolocation or something, indication, geolocation, team is the next one, then followed by years. Okay, so once we see that, definitely we know that the Power BI does not recognize our header as headers. So what we need to do is we just need to upgrade this first column. And how do we go about that? Either you click here, you click this drop down and say use first row as headers. or you come up here and click use the first row as headers. And that's exactly what I've done. So I've upgraded the first row as our header. Okay. So let me look at this. Let me look at all this stuff that are here. Okay. Now, if you look at all of them, you can use your data set to compare what you have in there. What you have in there, look at it, we have 2009 to 2020. And this guy is giving me additional columns. It's giving me additional columns. So I may have to remove those columns that are not supposed to be there. I may have to remove them. The thing is, I have not studied this data set. I'm just using it as an example for us to see how we can connect to a data set that is in PDF. So this is, so I think we are good. So all I would just do is remove columns. So now I've removed all those unnecessary columns. So if we look at our data sets, I think we have almost the same thing like this. It's almost the same thing. So once we have it like that, we can now go ahead and do our manipulation. Okay, so okay, the previous one. Okay, I may have to remove this. Delete this, so that I don't have them duplicated. Page 1, then rename this and have it as page 2. We are not really doing anything with it, so all we are just trying to do is just to show us how to beautiful. So I just showed us how to connect to a data set, which is in PDF. Okay, so the next one is, how do we connect to a database? If you have your data set from the database, so how do you connect to a database? How do you pull your record from the database? The database, the kind of database we've been working with all this while, we have, I'm sure all of us have Postgres installed on a local machine. We have Postgres installed on a local machine. I have some other databases installed on my local machine, but I cannot use that for you because what is common to all of us is Postgres SQL. So we'll be connecting to Postgres SQL. So let's get our data. Let's get our data. So we're connecting to Postgres database connect. Now, when you click Postgres database and you're trying to connect, it's going to ask you for the name of the server. And it's going to ask you for the name of the database you want to connect to. You want to connect to. Mine is local hosts. Likewise, everybody, except if you are not connecting from your local machine, that's when you are not going to make use of local hosts. Okay, but this guy, you may not need to check all this. You may not need to tamper with these advanced options. So just connect to the local host. Let me do okay. If it's okay, it's asking me for the database I want to connect to. So I can't remember. I have quite a number of them. Let me launch my Postgres. Or let me come from here. Let's see, PSQL. That's SQL shell server, SQL shell of Postgres, so that I can quickly check the list of databases I have in here. So I have all of, okay, I'll be connecting to DVD rentals. So I'll be connecting to DVD rentals. So let's quickly go there and pick that. Okay, let's come up. Postgres, where are you? Our lovely friend. So the guy is loading. Let's wait for the guy to connect us. Okay, yes. So it's asking me for the server name, then the name of the database I want to connect to, DVD rentals. DVD rentals. So I'll click OK. Thank you. We can see it's telling me localhost DVD rentals. Localhost DVD rentals. So that's what the guy is connecting to. I don't think okay, let me just. So these are all the stuff that we have in here. So guys should, let me see, which one do I want to make use of? Okay, so these are all these ones are tables. Anything that you see in boxes like this, they are tables. So check all of them. Check all of them, and knowing fully well that they are all clean data. So just load them. Load them into your database, sorry, into your Power BI. So it's loading it into our Power BI. Beautiful. So now we have all of them here. We have all of them here. That's it. And we can put all of them in a, let me see, accept to put, okay. Okay, I think we are good now. And if you want to see them, see the data, so you just come to your data view, you come to your data view, and you can select any of them that you want to see. You can see this is the data inside actor table. Then add address. This is the address. This is category. This is a city. This is a country, and all of that. So in a nutshell, that's how to connect to a database, Postgres SQL per se, in Power BI. Do you have any question?
So just briefly run us down how to connect data from the web.
Does anyone have an issue with that too? So that I can do it together.
Yes, please.
Okay. Who else? Okay. At least we have two people having that. Okay. So let me just take us through data connection through the web. I'm still going to use the previous example that I used for us. So get data, you can click more, or you click get data, and to take you to all different types of data sources. So it's loading. Then let me just go to my Google and okay, let me come IMF World Economic Outlook Database. So I pick this World Economic Outlook Database, April 2020. While we are waiting for, okay, this guy is up. So, but before we get there, let's just, let's prepare our reports from here. So, like I told us the other time, you can click the entire data set. When you click the entire data set, you can download the entire data set to your local machine. Then you upload it as Excel workbook into your Power BI. But that's not all we are trying to do. We want to pull our record from the web using web data connection. So we click the country, then we need to select the country group, which we are going to make use of major advanced economy, G7. Then if you look at all of them, you have 7 of them: Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, UK, and United States. So
why is China not there?
They're not part of G7.
Oh.
Maybe they're not part of the one they put here. They're not part of these ones.
Okay.
Okay. So continue preparing our reports. Then we want to select the subject I want to talk on. I think we pick GDP current prices, national currency. So we click continue. Then we want to select the date range. We selected 2010 to 2011. Sorry, 2021. Why am I saying 2011? So you prepare the report. Now that you prepare your report, look at the way it is. Look at our report. This is it. And this is the replica of what we want to see in our Power BI. You can download the report like this. When you download it, it's going to come to your, let's see, the downloads are presented in tab delimited values, which is compatible with most statistical packages and Excel. So if you download this, it's going to come in TSV, and you can open it with your Excel. Then you connect it to your Power BI. But what we want to do is we want to copy the URL, which I just copied. So bring it to this guy. So I think the web, okay, let's go to other to quickly see it. Instead of me. So this is the web, then connect to web. Then the URL that I've copied, I will just paste it in here. Then click OK. And it's trying to establish. It's connecting. It's loading, I think, loading properly. So when it loads, it's going to present the table to us in HTML format. Going to present it to us in HTML format. Then you can see HTML tables. This is it. Then the web view. This is the way it is on the web before we after we finished okay, network. Okay, no, thank you. Okay, so this is how it looks like when we finish preparing our report on the web. This is the web view. Then this is the table view. This is it. So what we need doing is let's just transform the data, because I've seen some things there, even based on my last class. We have to upgrade the column so that we can then change the name of the table. This is it, the table 1. Then this is, you can see our table 8. Now we need to, from our reports, we notice that we have, these are the headers: country, subject descriptor, unit, scale, country and series specific notes, and years. But when we get here, we have seen column 1, column 2, column 3, and so on. So what we need to do is we just need to upgrade this first row as the headers. So, and that's what I just did. I just upgraded these guys to be our first row. So they need to remove every unnecessary columns. So I've highlighted all of them. There's no point having subject descriptor, unit, scale, country specific, series specific notes. There's no point. So let me just remove them. So, oh, I want to remove this guy. So I just remove them. And then one more thing that I did this time, all these columns, we have about 11 columns. So there's no point having 11 columns when we can have them as 2 columns. We just merge all the years together and then all the GDPs together. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I've highlighted all of them. Then I'll come to transform on pivot columns. So we have all of them in 2 columns. So the attributes will be yes, while the values will be GDP. And that's what I just did. Then I need to change these guys' format from text to whole number. Also, I need to change the name of the table. Either I right click on the table 1, click rename, or I come here under name and change it to GDP. I think I named it GDP G7 the other time. Is it all right like this?
Yes, yes.
I hope I'm good.
Yes. Okay.
Sorry, come again on how you change the name of the table. Or how you name the table.
It's either you right click on the table like this and click rename, or you come to the right, a little bit above apply steps. You see name box. Just highlight it and change the name there. Okay, are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes.
So let's just move on. I won't save it. I will just close it.
Okay.
You can see that because I did not apply, I only closed. You can see that we do not have a G7 here.
Yeah.
So that's the That's the implication. So when you click close without applying, when you click close without applying, the changes won't take effect. The changes will not affect. It just go back to the original state. Okay, so I'm going to show us one or two things briefly, then we call it a day.
So sorry, when you say discard changes,
yes,
does it mean that the information you have uploaded will disappear, or it will be there? It will not change.
If you have loaded it into Power BI before you do your transformation. Okay, let me show us that. Let me just quickly show us that so that we see it. It's loading. So, okay. Table 1. So what I will do first, I will first of all load it in my Power BI. Okay. So when you load it into your Power BI, and you now discover that your data set needs to be transformed. Okay. That your data set needs to be transformed. Then you go to transform data. So whatever you do in transform data, if you do not apply changes, before you close, it's not going to take effect. So let's look at our data from the data view. This is table 1 from data view. Can we all see what it looks like?
Yes, sir.
Good. So let me take it to transform data. Then I'm going to do all the things I did the other time. Okay, I'm going to do all the things I did the other time. Okay, let me remove this because it's still here. But it did not load into my Power BI. So I will change the name to GDP G7. Okay, then use first row as header, then remove all this. Okay, I've done all of that. Then our pivot, I want to unpivot all these columns. Oh, sorry, it's not supposed to be decimal, it's supposed to be whole number. Okay, this is good. Now, I've changed this, right? I've changed the name, I've done some manipulation and transformation and all of that. But I'm supposed to click close and apply so that the data sets we have in our Power BI that we've loaded in our Power BI will reflect these changes I've made.
Okay.
But I did not click close and apply, just click close. You can see that the changes are not reflecting. That's that the changes are not reflecting. So that's the implication.
Okay, so what now you want to delete this item?
If I want to delete this, I will just come here, right click on the data set and click delete from model.
Okay.
You can see. delete from model. Okay, pending, whatever. Because I have it pending inside transform data. That's why it's telling me that I have a pending changes. So if I should do apply changes, then it's going to apply to this place. Then while doing this, I want to show okay, if time permits us, maybe my previous work, and okay, now I can now remove this guy. That's it. It's gone.
So what that means is that you need to apply the changes first before you remove it.
Because I don't need it. I did not commit it. Okay, let me just put it that way. I did not commit the changes. I did not commit the changes before coming back to my Power BI.
Okay.
I did not commit the changes. That's why it's not allowing me to remove it. But the first changes was telling me, look at it. Because I've applied the changes,
okay,
it has loaded it here. But if I discarded it, it won't load it. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Beautiful. So let me just post one more some of the introduce us to some of the visuals. Then how we can work on our reports. Now I wanted to show us something. Let me see if it's here. Oh yeah, it's not here. Let me show us. I worked on a. Okay, I think this is it. I think I work on this. I work on a project on Excel. So I want to show us one or two things so that we can compare. We can compare the reports in Power BI to reports in Excel. Now, Power BI is an interactive tool, interactive data visualization software. It's an interactive data visualization software. That is, how do I mean by interactive? If we look at this guy, if you click on anything here, nothing changes. That means they are not interactive, except you use filter. Except you use the filter. That's when you see changes. Except you use filter. In Excel, you will not see any changes. Okay? But okay, let me
take it again, please. Please take it again.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's say except you use filter, you won't see movement, you won't see you won't see changes. Look at it. Except this, you won't see any changes. But here in Power BI, it is an interactive data visualization tool. Okay, let me bring up the card. This is a card visual. So that's, I want my sales. My sales there. Okay, this is a sales. So this is the sale. Let me expand it a bit. And let me put CGOS there. I'm trying to copy and paste so that I won't have to be doing that again. So where is my profit? Okay, this is a profit. Now, I want to generate a clustered column whereby we have all the countries and we have the sales, the COGS, and the profit. So we have country, we have, where is our sales? Where is my sales? I have sales, I have COGS, then I have the profit. Beautiful. So we have this. Okay, we have this. Now, it is interactive in this sense. Look at it. Look at, just pay close attention. So if I should click on Mexico, this is Mexico. If I should click on Mexico, can you see what happened? Hello?
Yes, yes, yes.
Can you see what happens?
Yes.
So I click on Mexico and it's, sorry?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, let me take it again. Let's pay a close attention to all the values, everything we have on this canvas. The profit is, okay, maybe we should do it like this. Let me do it like this. We have a text box. Let me just bring in a text box. Let me bring in a text box. I'm coming. So I want to type out everything we have up here. We have profit to be 16.89 million. We have a CGOS. That's cost of goods sold.
Can you increase the size to?
I'm coming. I will increase it to be 101.83 million. Then we have sales to be 118.73 million. I think it's better. You can see it like this, right?
Yes, yes, better.
Is this guy telling me this? Okay. Now, let's look at when maybe I should bold it again. I think it's better like that, right? Good. So when I click on Mexico, you can see the profit changed to 2.9 million. The cost of goods sold changed to 18.04, while the sales changed to 20.95 million. Meanwhile, everything, the profit was 16.89. COGS is 101, and sales is 118.73. Now, what am I saying in essence is this? This guy is interactive. That is, okay, what do you want? You want to say something, sir?
Yes, I think I had a network issue. What did you touch that changed it? It's in the network field.
Okay, I only touched Mexico. I only click Mexico chart.
Okay.
I click Mexico chart. So what I'm trying to say in essence is this, that Power BI is an interactive data visualization tool. Unlike Excel, if I touch any of the charts, this is Europe, this is Sub-Saharan Africa, this is Asia, this is Central America and the Caribbean. It does not affect anything except I had to touch the filter. Except I touch the filter. I'm like, okay, I don't want to see everything. I want to see Asia and these ones. That's when this guy will change. But in Power BI, you can touch as many as you want. Okay, I want these two, I want these three. You can see the changes. I only selected. So let's assume that you want to know how much profit made in Canada, Germany, and Mexico. All you just need doing is bring all of them, create a visual and select the 3 of them. Then you know how much you make, how much profit you made, how much was the cost of goods sold, and how much was the what's it called? The sales.
Okay.
With this, you can pick them. You have your sales. You have, this is for the sales. This is a sales record. This is CGOS, and this is profit. So with that, we can see it without even having to do any kind of calculation. If you want to see all this in Excel, we have to use filter. Even though what we're doing here is we are trying to filter it, but we are not using a physical filter. We are just clicking. Even if I bring in, I'm coming. Let me bring in another. I'm coming. Let me bring in another. I'm coming. I'm trying to see. I want to bring another. Come down. Another visual, so that we see that, irrespective of the number of visual you have here, it's going to interact with all of them. All of them is going to interact. So let me bring in another visual. Okay, probably I should do if I should do a tree map. Let me do which one? Okay, let me do a tree map. So that we see it. Let me do a tree map. Country and sales. Okay, let me just country and sales. If you notice all of them, in fact, I've not even done anything. If you notice all of them, US and France, they are how do I put it now? They are not enabled. They are not enabled. Let me look at it. They are enabled now. They're enabled now. So any visual you have on this canvas, they are going to interact with each other. If I click United States, you can see all of them are the blood, and it's only United States that is enabled because of what I selected on this chart. And likewise, if I do the same thing from this guy, look at it. I'm coming. Let me select Mexico from here. You can see it's only Mexico that is selected from here, despite the fact that I selected Mexico from another visual, another visual. So it's affecting what we have on this clustered column visual. Hello.
So how did you generate this box?
Which box?
This next other one I just did now.
This other one, this tree map. This is tree map. Look at it. Look at it here.
Okay.
It's on the third row.
Okay.
The sixth column. This is it.
Okay.
So what you just need then is once. Okay. Let me take it out and bring it up again. So what you just need is you click it. Once you click it, which this is it, it's going to come like this.
Okay.
This is it. Then you can now fill it with your.
Okay.
You can fill it with your data that you have here.
Okay.
How did you take it out, sir?
Just click on it. I deleted it. I used the delete button. Okay. Then this is how to bring it in. You double click it from here. Then it comes to. But when you are clicking it, you make sure that you have deselected other visuals. You have within canvas. The reason is this: if I did not this, let me delete this. Let's assume I want to bring in tree map as a visual, but I did not deselect this. I did not deselect this clustered column chart that I have here.
Okay.
This is the implication. By the time I click tree map, this guy will change. You can see.
Okay.
The guy has changed. So that's the implication. So any visual that you have on the canvas, you have to deselect it first. You have to deselect it first before you can bring in another chart, another visual. Okay, now I've deselected it. Now I want to bring in my tree map. You can see. If I want to bring in another one too, I'll deselect the tree map. Then I'll bring in another one. Let me bring in, you have another one like table. You have a table. This is a table. This is a table. If I add my records here inside my tree map, okay, let me pick just one, just sales. So if I have my records in just the tree map, and I want to have the same thing inside here, this guy, I can just click this, or let's assume that you have your records in a particular chart and you don't like it. You can just click that and change it. So I just changed that tree map table, which is this. You can see even table is interactive. Table 2 is interactive. So if I select this, it's going to affect the table, you can see. And if I select, I can select multiple. Look at it. So this is the total sales, which is still this. The total number of sales made, which is this, from the table is the same thing. Okay, do we have any question? Hello?
Hi.
Do you have any question, please?
No question from my side.
No question. No question for now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this. I will show us one of my previous projects, and next class, I will show us how to build similar projects. Then round up with Power BI. Okay. So let me show us maybe some of my projects that I've worked on in Power BI. Then we call it a day from there.
So one can go to IMF website and download information.
Yes, please, you can.
Okay.
It's open source.
Okay.
It's open source. You can make use of it.
Okay,
so let me you're welcome, sir. So I think I have one like this. So it's coming up.
Can you generate?
And this Power BI,
I mean, can
this Power BI do us?
Generate comment as in the performance of the countries as per profit, revenue, and sales, revenue, profit, and cost of goods sold? Can it generate comment?
Now look at it. The thing is this. If you look at, let me bring up the previous one. As it is now, as you have seen it, as it is now, let's assume that I want to get for Mexico, this Mexico, this is France, and this is United States.
Okay.
I put them in tables. this is a table. So from here, you can, I've deselected it. So let me select it again. Okay, for USA, you can see the values for the USA. For sales, we have 5 million, 25.03, COGS, 22.03, then profit, 3 million. So if you are writing your report, you just pick the figures. For USA, the profit is $3 million or 3 million naira. The cost of goods sold is 2.03 million. Then the cost of sales is 25.03 million. So if you imagine, if you want to compare, if you're asked to compare, right? You've picked the value for this, then you can say, okay, we want to compare the values of cost of sale, cost of goods sold, sales and profits with, as in the one we made in US, Mexico, and France. Let's assume that you have a company that has branches, that has a branch in US, another one in Mexico, and another one in France. So you can check from this table, okay, this is the sales that we made in France. This is the sales that we made in Mexico. This is the sale that we made in US. And this is the cost of goods sold. This is the profit. So compare all of them like that. Then you can now say, okay, why are we not making so much money in France compared to... Now, if you look at this record, they actually made more money in France than US.
Yes.
You get?
Yes.
Because cost of goods sold in US is not as much as cost of goods sold
in France.
In France. The one in US is more than the one in France. And yet they made more profit in France than in US. The sales in US is more than the sales in France, but the profit in France is more than the one in US. So those are the things that those are the insights that you can deduce from this analysis. You get, so you can now advise your clients that, okay, instead of you pumping so much money in US, the amount of money that you pumped in US, if you pump it in France, you make more money. You didn't get it. Yes, you make, so let's say your cost of goods sold in US is 20 million and you made 3.8 million. Your cost of goods sold in US is 22 million and you made 2.9. So definitely if you had pumped double money, double of the amount of money you pumped in US in France, you will have made more money than US. So those are the insights, those are the inference, and the kind of advice that you give to your clients. Did you get it, sir?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. No other question, right? You're welcome, sir. So next class, I will have gotten a data set that we'll use to do a kind of this report. This is a sample of my project. So I will get a data set, then we work on it so that we have an idea of how to do a report in Power BI. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So if we don't have any question,